In this video, you will be learning the basics of networking in a computer network. So, what is computer networking? Computer networking is the practice of connecting two or more computers and devices to share resources and exchange data electronically. For example, a network is a community of anything, but in this case, it's a community of computers sharing resources. So let's start with just these two computers. These two computers can connect to each other via cables or by Wi-Fi. For example, you can connect these two using Bluetooth. That's a Wi-Fi device too. Or you connect the two computers by cable. What if we have more than two computers? Let's move on to that now. Here is another intelligent device called a switch. A switch allows devices on the network, for example, like the computers on the network, to communicate with each other. For example, computer 1 wants to send data to computer 2. It will send the data to the switch and the switch will forward it to 2. Likewise, 2 wants to send data to 3. Computer 2 will forward the data to switch and switch will forward it to 3. So that is how the switch helps. And also it's a very important device on every network. So that is basically what a switch does. Here is another device on the network called a printer. Do you know that every one of these computers can all print to this printer by virtue of this switch? This switch acts as a medium in the center of all these computers so that every one of these computers can send to the print to print out documents for them. So in essence, instead of every computer in this network having having one printer to itself, the network here can have just one printer and every computer can print to this computer by going through the switch. Remember that I refer to this device called switch as an intelligent device. I use that word intelligent because this switch has a similar device to that does similar work. It's called a hub, which I will talk about it in the next page. So keep in mind that I said switch is an intelligent device relative to another device called a hub. This switch will send data to the specific target. So if one sends data to switch and tell switch send it to 6, switch will send it to nothing else but number 6 computer. Here is another device called the hub. A hub does similar work to a switch, but it is not as intelligent as a switch. In the case of a hub receives the data and send connects it to every other device on the network. Unlike if it is a switch will send the data to a specific device. So in essence, a hub is good for a broadcast transfer, which makes it not as intelligent as a switch. Was the reason why I mentioned that a switch is an intelligent device relative to the hub. But in a lot of cases too, a hub has its own advantage or use, more like. Because there are cases where a hub is better needed for that purpose than a switch. And of course, a switch device can do much more than what a hub will do. Now let's talk about local area network. Like you learned earlier what a network is. Think of a network like a community that has some things in common that they need to share and relate with each other within a community. So for example, a particular school, let's say school A could be a community of its own, and school B could be another school entirely in another location, could be another community. So now that, and also you can also take a LAN to be, for example, a company A, another company B. So a local area network is a network that connects devices within a small limited area, like a home office, like a company. Remember, in our earlier lesson, we talked about switches. Now we want to talk about a router. So a router connects two communities. Look at it that way. So for example, a router here will connect LAN A to LAN B, meaning that computers and devices in this network, if they need to relate with this network, they have to go through the router instead of a switch. So a router will connect two local area networks together. Let's say, for example, computer 1 wants to send a document to computer 2 in LAN B. This computer has to go through the router. It will send whatever it needs to send to the router, and the router will now forward it to LAN B, to the specific recipient. So, in a nutshell, a router here can connect many LANs, many local area network. And also bear in mind that this network not only have computers, it also have all other peripherals that computer needs to work with, like a printer, a fax machine, and name it. Any other thing that the computers in this network need to make use of. They are also devices that will be connected together in this network so that they can share resources. But in this page here, we just want to learn about the router. So it's the router that will connect local area networks together. A router connects multiple LANs. Router connects multiple area networks. Router acts as a gateway to other networks within a limited geographical span. For example, in a particular state, you will have many LANs and they can be connected using the router. So that is the basic understanding of what a router does. It acts as a gateway. So here we have what is called WAN, Wide Area Network. We learned earlier what local area network is all about. Now we are about to learn what wide area network is. So basically, wide area network is a collection of many LANs, therefore forming a group under the name wide area network. So let me give you the definition. The definition of a wide area network is a telecommunications network that connects multiple local area networks, LANs, over a large geographical area, such as across cities, across countries, or even continents. Let's say, for example, you have about 5 different countries trying to communicate with each other through telecommunications. They will be grouped under wide area network. And as you can see here, routers connect multiple local area networks. And in a lot of cases, more than one routers will be involved, multiple routers as well. But basically, routers connect local area networks. And many local area networks spanning wider geographical spans, they come together under the group wide area network. For example, the internet is a wide area network because people from multiple countries communicate with each other through the internet. So far in the networking lesson of today, we have talked about the switch, the router, the hub, but we have not spoken about the modem. Modem is a device that takes the networks to or connects the network to the internet. So this diagram depicts how a computer in a network, let's say in an office, in a school, how the computer connects to the internet. The computer connects to the switch in the network. The switch passes it onto the router. The router passes it on to the modem and then to the internet. So basically what we have learned in this lesson is just the basic functions of a switch, basic function of a router, and a modem connects to the internet, connects the router to the internet. So I believe that anyone who may be interested in learning networking, computer networking, I believe this basic video or this short video would have helped you and give you a brief understanding of the devices that comes together to form a network that connects your computer in your office to the internet. And of course, this internet is managed by internet service provider. In a lot of cases, they are the one that makes available the modem. But anyway, the internet is managed by various internet service provider depending on the country you reside in. So I have to round up this video here, and definitely I will come up with more videos that will give details about all these devices, more details about a network, and more details about networking as a whole. Bye for now. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.